Have you ever really stopped to think about how a single word can do two totally different things at the exact same time? It's this incredible little puzzle hiding in plain sight right in our everyday language, and today we're going to crack it open.
So, let's just ask the basic question. What does a word actually do? I know, it sounds almost too simple, but the answer is way more complex than you might think. See, a word isn't just a bunch of letters. It's a powerful tool with a dual function. And getting a handle on this is really the key to understanding language on a much deeper level.
Okay, let's make this super concrete with an example. Imagine my car, a specific Toyota. If I point to it and say Toyota, I'm naming that one single object. I'm just pointing. But if I start talking about what a car is in general, four wheels, an engine, gets you from A to B, well, now I'm talking about its meaning. I'm defining a whole category. So one job points and the other defines.
And that right there, that brings us to the heart of our explainer today. A word's two fundamental jobs. And these jobs really hang on this crucial difference between what something is and what we know about it. Let's break that down. First up, we've got naming. This is as simple as it sounds. It's the act of just pointing to something's existence. In philosophy, they call this an ontological matter, which is just a fancy way of saying it's purely concerned with what is. When you name something, you're just saying, hey, this thing, it exists. It's all about the raw fact of its being.
The second job is meaning, and this is where we get a little more abstract. Meaning is all about defining the universal essence of a thing, what makes it what it is. This is known as an epistemic matter. It's not about what is, but about what we know about what is. It's in the realm of knowledge and understanding. This whole distinction between what is and what we know, it's actually built on an even deeper philosophical idea, the difference between existence and essence. You can kind of think of this as the engine running under the hood of all language. So, existence. It is incredibly straightforward. It's just the that of a thing. The simple, undeniable, brute fact that it is present in reality in some way. That rock exists. This screen exists. It's just there. Essence, on the other hand, is the what of a thing. It's its core nature, right? The bundle of properties that make it what it is. So, the essence of a car is its carness, its purpose, its design, its function. It's everything that goes beyond the simple fact that it exists. So, here it is. Here's how it all clicks together. Naming is the tool we use to point to a thing's existence, and meaning is the tool we use to understand and communicate its essence. That's the central idea we've been building up to. Pretty neat, right? Now, you might be thinking, okay, this makes sense for physical objects, stuff I can see and touch. But here's where it gets really fascinating. This whole framework of existence and essence, it applies to totally different kinds of reality, what some philosophers have called the three worlds of being.
Okay, first up, the most familiar one, the material world of existence. This is our home turf. It's the world of concrete physical things. A specific table, that tree outside, the planet Earth itself. They just are.
Second, we have the abstract world of subsistence. Now, these are things that don't physically exist, but they are absolutely real. Think about the number pi, or the concept of justice, or the Pythagorean theorem. They don't have a physical address, but they subsist. They are real, unchanging concepts in our shared intellectual world.
And third, we have the mental world of absistence. This is the realm of things that exist only in our minds. Fictional characters like Pegasus or Harry Potter, they live here. And so does that brilliant idea you had this morning for a new project. They don't exist out there in the material world, but they absist as real objects of our thoughts. Okay, so we've got this really nice piety framework. Naming points to existence, meaning defines essence. But language is messy, isn't it? It's never quite that simple. So what happens when the meaning of a word isn't clear at all?
Well, this brings us to a classic philosophical puzzle. Imagine a linguist in a completely new place. A rabbit scurries past, and a local points and says, "Gavagai." So what does it mean? Does it mean rabbit? Or maybe lunch? Or look at that go? Or, as the philosopher Quine famously suggested, something ridiculously specific like undetached rabbit parts. This is the famous problem of the indeterminacy of meaning.
Now, Quine looked at this and basically argued that this proves words can lack a single clear meaning. But there's a really powerful counter-argument to this. The problem isn't that Gavagai has no meaning, it's that it could have a multiplicity of meanings. The issue isn't an absence of meaning, but an abundance of it.
So why does any of this deep philosophical stuff actually matter to you and me? Well, because understanding this dual role that words play, it completely changes how we can look at communication itself. It's the difference between just pointing at the world and actually trying to understand it together. All right, so let's just recap the whole framework one last time. We've got naming. That's all about existence, the that of a thing. Its domain is ontological, focused on what is, like pointing to this specific car. And then we've got meaning. That's all about essence, the what of a thing. Its domain is epistemic, focused on what we know, like that big universal concept of car.
So here's the ultimate takeaway. Every single word you use is a little powerhouse. It is constantly operating on two levels at the exact same time. It points to a piece of reality that is, and it simultaneously tries to define what that piece of reality means.
So, I'll leave you with this to think about. Knowing that every single word is a bridge, connecting the simple fact of existence with the complex world of meaning, how does that change the way you listen, or the way you speak, and maybe even the way you see the world around you? Something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.